Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carl Kinseth, and we are here again for the boys' Rosemount swim and dive team. They are against Prior Lake tonight. Got a few minutes before we get started. Prior Lake has come back on the deck. And shortly, Rosemount Irish will be out on the deck as well. And then we will have the national anthem, and then we will get started. So I'm going to go on mute. I will be back with you shortly. All right, here comes our Rosemount Irish, the top right-hand corner of your screen. A few other people in front of the camera here, but it's crowded and it's fun and it's going to be loud. Again, tonight we have the Prior Lake Lakers visiting the Rosemount Irish. They're selling water and Chuckaducks. There go the Chuckaducks. You sell those online, you could make some money. I'll set up a Venmo account. All right, we're going to move ahead with announcements here. This is Quinlan Schroeder singing our national anthem from the Rosemount boys team. And now that all that is over with, we're going to get started. I'm going to have some of those announcements for you here in just a second. I know you can't hear them very well on the live stream. All right. Oh.
She blows the whistle, then I announce the event, right? Okay, I want to make sure I got that.
Fine. All right. Your officials for tonight is back to you is Andrew Michelson. He's also a head coach at Egan High School for the girls. And Bill McCann on the other end of the pool. For the Lakers, your captains are Sam Erickson, Owen Dwyer, Josh Clow, Jackson Stout, Blake Vigor, and Blake Wallen. Coached by Joe Ballinger, Andy Weiss, Justin Haycraft, and for diving, Tia Kelly. Your Rosemount Irish captains, Will Kerrigan, Tristan Timbers, and Matthew Warwig. They're coached by Jake Kemna, head coach, assistant coach Emily Gabriel, and Jeff Nelson. Diving coach is Dan Monahan. Strength and conditioning coach is Dr. Tim Conboy. And again, with the national anthem tonight, you had Quinlan Schroeder, I believe a junior from Rosemount. All right, up first, the boys 200 medley relay junior varsity. Prior Lake in 1. Actually, this is an entire Prior Lake event, 1, 3, and 5. So tonight's lanes, Prior Lake 1, 3, 5. Rosemount 2, 4, and 6. Lane number 1, Young Shu Fan, Jack Wheelock, Tyler Simmons, and Miguel Beltran Lopez. Lane 3, Max Heitzman, Leon Zabo, Mateo Rios Snyder, and Cole Gramlow. And in lane number 5, Owen Kockelman, Rowan Wilson, Alexander Zhang, and Sam Erickson. Got a first shout out for the night is from Dennis Durfee up in Eugene, Oregon, cheering loudly for the Rosemount Irish and grandson Will Durfee. And Scott Manwaran, who, welcome, I know is out of town. Go Irish. Son Zach is a diver. 200 medley relay starts with the backstroke, moves to the breaststroke, then onto the butterfly, and finally the freestyle. 50 yards of each, 2 lengths of each stroke. Got a big crowd here tonight. Stands are full. They're starting to pile up in front of the cameras here. And we got about 20 of you on the line tonight. So thank you for joining us. Into the water in lane number 3. Is Mateo Rios Snyder. Sorry about the cameras. I'm in a little bit of a high traffic area here right now. And the final length of number 3, lane number 3, Cole Gramlow. And touching lane number 3, 214.38. .25 yards left to go in lane number 1 for Sam Erickson. And then we will move on to the varsity heat of the 200 medley relay. You didn't whistle. No whistle. Lane number 1 from Prior Lake, Evan Schabel, Harry Zhang, Philip Kamagakov, and Connor Kelsey. Lane 2 is Josh Soleil, Jackson Priest, Noah Saransky, and Lucas Gurton. In lane number 3 from Prior Lake, Ethan Kosen, Owen Dwyer, Griffin Leaning, and Victor Trin. In lane 4 from Rosemount, Matthew Warwick, Quinlan Schroeder, Spencer Rudd, and Josh Sikorsky. And in lane 5 from Prior Lake, Braxton Helmers, Owen Baudette, Tyler Young, and Jackson Stout. A pretty good race going here. Quinlan's taken about a body length lead in the breaststroke. That backstroke, they were pretty much dead even. Quinlan has opened it up here for our butterflyer in lane 4, Spencer Rudd. We will see if Griffin can give him a ride here. Looks like Griffin's made up a little bit, but Spencer is hanging on. Griffin with a really good underwater makes up a lot of space. And they are going to be even at the butterfly leg and into the freestyle. There goes Prior Lake. There's Victor Trin in lane number 3. He's got about a full body length after 25 yards. And Prior Lake will take the first varsity event of the evening.
Sorry, I was distracted. Lucas is swimming again.
And there you go, 139.17 for Prior Lake, 140.77 for the Rosemount Irish A team. Points, if you're keeping track. Some of you do the baseball thing. This is not quite that involved. Points for relays, 8, 4, 2. Only top 1, 2, and 3 are scored. Individual events are 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the boys' junior varsity 200-yard freestyle. We got Miguel Beltran Lopez from Prior Lake in 1. In 3, Michael Bremer from Prior Lake. 4 is Cooper Pedersen from Rosemount. And in lane 5, Job Glashagel from Prior Lake. Big lead right off the bat for Michael Bremer in lane number 3. Going to hit that first turn nice and fast, 26.71.
I didn't realize he was swimming.
Still cruising here at the first 100. He's going to be in at about 56.65. Nice start to his 200. This will be competitive with the varsity side of things right now. He's really moving. Again, that's Michael Bremer from Prior Lake in lane number 3, coming in at the 150 mark. That turn at 31.59, so he's dropped off a little bit, but still strong, and he's obviously still going to take this heat. And Michael touches in at a very respectable 2-minute .10. Job out there in lane 5 looks like he's going to take that second spot. Followed by Cooper in lane number 4. Here comes Job. He's going to touch at 225.43. And Cooper at 229.18. Got Miguel down there in lane number 1. And looks like he's got 50 yards left to go.
I'm multitasking too much here.
Sorry about lane 1. If you've got son or grandson or friend in lane number 1, I know he's not easy to see. Here he comes. Coming under the flags right now. And touches that. 102 is not his time. It's right around 4 minutes. All right, event number 4, the varsity version of this 200 free relay or 200 freestyle. Matt Ondrzejczyk in lane number 1 from Prior Lake. Lane number 2, Sawyer Smith, Rosemount. 3, Caden Chung from Prior. 4 is Will Durfee from Rosemount. 5, Reese Haycraft, Prior Lake. And in lane 6, Nolan Hansen from Rosemount. Now, Will has been 153.6. Sawyer's been 155.7 this season. See how they do. Right now, lane number 3, Caden has a little bit of a lead on Will. So I got our Chuckaducks in the and Water Hawkers here in the way. Caden still got the lead after 50, 25.03. Had a good race in 4 and 5, though, between Will and Reese Haycraft. And a good race between lanes 1 and 2, Matt and Sawyer. Caden coming in here at the 150. He'll have 2 lengths left to go. Reese starting to open up a bit of a lead here on Will. And he better watch out for lane number 1. Matt Ondrzejczyk is coming on as well. Kind of in his blind spot. Comes Sawyer Smith, though. He's fighting back in lane number 2. Caden is going to take this with a very nice time. He's going to be under 150. 148.06. Here comes Reese at 154.23, and in third place at 156.05 is Will Durfee in lane number 4. Up next is the boys' 200-yard IM individual medley. 2 lengths of each, butterfly back, breast, and free. This is an all Prior Lake event. Lanes 1, 3, and 5. Lane number 1, Alexander Zhang. Lane 2, Evan Scheibel. And lane 3, Harry Zhang. And touching first at the 50 in lane number 3 is Evan Scheibel. Hey, into the breaststroke, still in the lead. In lane number 3, Evan Scheibel. Now, lane number 1, not too far behind him, that's Alexander. And then not too far behind him in lane number 5 is Harry. I don't know if they're brothers, same last name. Assume so. And finishing up his 200 IM, Evan Scheibel at 227.11. And in lane number 1, Alexander at 235.74. And lane 5, Harry at 237.51. Up next is the 200-yard IM. This is the varsity event. You've got Owen Baudette in lane number 1 from Prior Lake. Quinlan Schroeder from Rosemount in 2. Lane 3, Owen Dwyer, Prior Lake. Lane 4, Matthew Warwick, Rosemont. Lane 5, Braxton Helmers from Prior Lake. And in lane number 6, Jackson Priest from Rosemont. Matthew's got a bit of a lead here coming through the fly. He's got an awesome backstroke, so let's see if he can pull away from Owen here a little bit. Owen's got a good backstroke as well. Matthew's gained a little bit on him, but he's going to need a little bit. I don't know what kind of breaststroker Owen is, but Matthew's opened up quite a lead now, about 2 body lengths. And into the breaststroke goes Matthew. I've been told that big sister Allison is watching tonight from Australia. Maybe she can give a shout out if she is. I think grandparents are watching too, if I'm right. Tom and Joan may have mentioned that to me. Holding his lead pretty good here, Matthew is. Looks like he hasn't lost any ground to Owen. In fact, he may have gained some ground here. It's hard in the IMs to have the complete package. If you're a butterflyer, sometimes you're not a breaststroker. If you're a backstroker, most of the time you're not a breaststroker. So to have all 4 strokes is a big plus. Matthew with a huge lead now, about 3 or 4 body lengths. He's going to take this. Owen right behind him. And right behind Owen in lane number 5 is Braxton Helmers. On his best time for the season. Boys' record there is 155.22. Pool record's 155.40. Jackson out there in lane number 6 with about half a pool length left to go. Make sure you hang tight for diving. We've got a couple of young men that placed fairly high at state last year in the diving. We have a 9th place and a 1st place represented here tonight from state finals last year, the Minnesota State High School League State Championship. Up next is the junior varsity 50-yard freestyle. Prior Lake in lane number 1 is Owen Kockelman. Lane 2, Noah Baker from Rosemount. 3, Blake Vieger, Prior Lake. Lane 4, Ethan Connolly, Rosemount. And in lane 5, Sam Erickson from Prior. Lane 6 is empty. Noah's season best here looks like 38.07. Ethan Connolly 31.54. But Blake Vieger has run out to a huge lead right off the bat. He is flying. Wow, this is varsity as well. 24.36. Nice swim for him. Lane number 4, 31.32. So that's a season best for Ethan Connolly. I think my scoreboard cam gave it up here. See if we can get that fixed. There we go. Lane number 1, Jackson Stout, Prior. Lane 2, Sullivan Labno from Rosemount. Lane 3, Ethan Kosen, Prior. Lane 4, Josh Sikorsky, Rosemount. Lane 5, Victor Trin, Prior Lake. Lane 6, Noah Sarinsky from Rosemont. It's like 3 and 5. Prior Lake's going to take 1-2 in this event, and they do. 22.03 and 22.39. Okay, up next is junior varsity and varsity diving. So they will be removing lane lines. And I'm going to go on mute. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Actually, I'm going to use a couple of minutes that we have to give you the diving order. Diving first from Prior Lake is Zach Glaschagel. Diving second from Rosemont, Zach Van Warren. Diving third from Prior, Luke Schwant. 4th position, Will Kerrigan from Rosemont. Prior Lake in the 5th position is Maddox Mork. Lucas Gerton in the 6th position from Rosemont. He is will be defending state champion for the Minnesota State High School League last year. And then we have Blake Wallen from Prior Lake, who was 9th at the state championship. So we got some talent here on the diving board tonight. All right, go on mute, and we'll be right back. here tonight. In the first position from Prior Lake, Zach Glasshagle. The second position from Rosemount, Zach Van Warren. In the third from Prior Lake, Luke Schwant. In the fourth position from Rosemount, Will Kerrigan. The fifth position, Prior Lake, Maddox Mork. Can't. Can we hear it now? The sixth position, Lucas Gurton from Rosemount. And in the final position is Blake Wallen from Prior Lake. Did any of that stuff come? I couldn't tell if you could hear. I'll run them through real quick. Okay. Okay. In the first position is Zach Glasshagle from Prior Lake. In second, Zach Van Warren from Rosemount. Luke Schwant from Prior Lake in third. In the fourth position, Will Kerrigan from Rosemount. Maddox Mork from Prior Lake in the fifth position. Lucas Gurton, Rosemount in the sixth position. And Blake Wallen in the seventh position from Prior Lake. Okay. Up first, Zach with a 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4. Scores 3.5. You got to hold them straight back. 4.5 and 4. Up next, Zach Van Warren with a 103C front 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 4, 4.5, 4. Luke from Prior Lake, 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4. Scores 4, 4.5, 4. Will from Rosemount with a 103B front 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Scores 4, 5, 4.5. Maddox from Prior Lake, 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Scores 5, 5.5, 6. Lucas from Rosemount, 103B front 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Blake from Prior Lake, 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Scores 7, 7.5, 6.5. Starting round number 2, 51-22, I'm sorry, Zach, 51-22D. Front, 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Scores 3, 3, and 3. Zach from Rosemount, 104C, front, 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Luke with a 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 4.5, 4.5, 4. Will, 105C, front, 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.4. Scores 4, 5, 5.5. Maddox, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 5.5, 6.5, 6. Lucas with a 105B, front, 2.5 somersault pike, 2.6. Scores 7, 7, 7. Blake, 403B, inward, 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4. Scores 6.5, 7.5, 7. Zach from Prior Lake, starting round number 3, 104C, front, 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 4.5, 4.5, 5. Zach from Rosemount, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 4.5, 6, 5.5. Luke with a 402C, inward, 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 3.5, 4, 4. Will with a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Scores 4.5, 5.5, 5.5. Maddox with a 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Scores 6.5, 5.5, 6. Lucas with a 51-34D front, 1.5 somersault, 2 twists, free, 2.6. Scores 5, 5.5, 6. Blake with a 404C inward, 2 somersault, tuck, 2.8. Scores 5.5, 5, 5.5. Starting round number 4, Zach from Prior Lake, 302C, reverse, 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. Zach from Rosemount, 203C, back, 1.5 somersault, tuck, 2.0. Scores 4, 4.5, 4.5. Luke, 202C, back 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Scores 4, 4.5, 4.5. Will, 203C, back 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0. Scores 3.5, 4, 4. Maddox, the 105C, forward 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.4. Scores 5.5, 6, and 7. Lucas, 203B, back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3. Scores 5, 6, and 6. Blake with a 105B, forward 2.5 somersault pike, 2.6. Scores 6, 7, 6.5. Starting round number 5, Zach from Prior Lake, 202C, back, 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Scores 4.5, 5, 4.5. Zach from Rosemount, 51-22D, front, 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Scores 4-5, 4.5. Luke, 302C, reverse somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores 4, 4.5, 4.5. Will, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, 2.2. Scores 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Maddox, 201C, back dive, tuck, 1.5. Scores 3.5, 4, 4. Lucas, a 403B, inward, 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4. Scores 7, 7, 6.5. Blake, 203B, back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3. Scores 5.5, 6.5, 6. Starting our final round of diving, Zach from Prior Lake, 52-21D, back 1 somersault with a half twist, free, 1.7. Scores 4, 4, 4. Zach from Rosemount, 53-21D, reverse, 1 somersault, half twist, free, 1.8. Scores 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Luke with a 52-11A, back dive, half twist, straight, 1.8. Scores 4, 4.5, 4. Will, 52-31D, back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, free, 2.1. Scores 4, 5, 5.5. Maddox with a 52-31D, back 1.5 somersault, half twist, free, 2.1. Scores 5-5-5. Lucas with a 405C inward, 2.5 somersault tuck, 3.1. Scores 7, 6.5, 6.5. Our final dive of the evening, Blake with a 52-33D, back, 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist, free, 2.5. Scores 4, 5.5, 5.5. That concludes diving. We will have scores for that shortly. Online, we have about a 10-minute break while they put the pool back together and they have warm-ups, and then we'll be back with you. Thanks. Hang on tight. All right, I've got diving results for you here. For our JV, Zach Glasshagel from Prior Lake was 126. Just 126. I don't know. I can't read that one, but it's all right. In for the varsity, and these are not in the correct order. So hold on a second here. Okay. In sixth place is Zach from Rosemount with a 160.85. In fifth from Rosemount, Will Kerrigan, 173.85. In fourth from Prior Lake, Luke Schwant, 118.7. In third, Maddox from Prior at 188.10. In second place, Blake Wallen from Prior Lake at 256.3. And your champion tonight from Rosemount, Lucas Gurton with 280.95. Congratulations to the divers. Here you go, Henry. Yep. All right, pool's back together. We have one of the referees here checking the diving sheets, verifying that they're okay. Once he is done and back on the pool deck, we can get started. Pool record for, or I should say the boys' record for 1 meter diving here at Rosemount. Steve Schultz, 280.45 back in 1992. Lucas took that down in Apple Valley with a 323. Scoring that 280.95 just broke the boys' record again. But the 323, of course, trumps it. 323 dual meet is huge. And I think I mentioned it earlier. We had three state participants from 2022 in that round of diving. Lucas being the champion of the 2022 diving from Minnesota State High School. Blake Wallen from Prior Lake, he was ninth. And then we had Will Kerrigan also, who was in the top 30, I believe, for diving. So a lot of talent on the diving board here in Rosemount tonight. The pool record for diving was McLean from Egan, 293.65. So Lucas wasn't too far off of that. Need another 13 points. I'm willing to bet, since he's only a sophomore, he's going to have that handily, if not this year, next year. Still waiting on verification from Bill McCann, our head ref for the evening. Andrew Michelson is our other ref and starter for the night. And we do have Miss Allison from Australia on today. She shouts out, "Go Matthew." Matthew's going to have a pretty good race in that 100 backstroke coming up. I think Ethan Cosin is a pretty good backstroker. We'll see how it plays out. But he'll be happy to see that Big Sister is watching tonight. Bill is still going over the rule book here, so he's got something going, not sure what. Well, up next will be the junior varsity 100 fly. It's going to be an all Prior Lake event. Should do this every time. Butterfly pool record, Andrew Trepanier from Lakeville North at a 49.73. Andrew went on to swim at Michigan. So some very fast swims there in that 100-yard butterfly. Looks like Bill is done and headed back down onto the pool deck, so we should get started here fairly quickly. Still got 20 plus people on the live stream. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Well, now both referees are going over it, so they must have found some discrepancy. I'm not sure what. Get a little more color on the diving. That Steve Schultz boys record for diving for 6 dives was back from 1992, same year that Lucas's dad graduated with Steve from Rosemount High School. So that gives you some color on how long that record has been around, 30 years now. So that's a great one to break. The pool record, the young man from Egan, I don't think that's only a few years old. I'm not sure. I don't remember that gentleman's name, but I don't think that record is very old. And again, I expect Lucas will get that this year or next. All right, here we go. The refs are back in place. Oh, another question to the desk. 11 dives, which is your state meet, few invitationals, things like that. Lucas does have the boys' record at 466.75. And there aren't a whole lot of 11 dive meets here at the Rosemount pool. Um, you have a gentleman from Mounds View, 476.37 for 11 dives. That one might hang around for a while. I don't know when anybody would get a chance to break that, considering we very rarely see any 11 dive meets here at Rosemount. Okay, we had another snafu, but I think we're getting the high sign here. We're going to get this 100 fly started. That was not a very normal 20-minute break there. That one took a little while to get figured out. But we look good. We look ready to go. And here we go. Again, this is the boys' 100-yard butterfly junior varsity event. Lane number 1 is going to be Cole Gramlow. Lane 3, Mateo Rios Snyder. And in lane 5, Leon Zabo. We are missing Leon. He is not here. So lane 5 is empty. And my clock stopped working again, so give me a second here. This one's been giving me headaches all night long. There we go. We'll see how long that can stick. All right off the bat here in lane number 3. Mateo leading the way. 32.49 of that first 50. Cole touching at 40.25. 2 lengths left to go. And Mateo touching at 109.81. Very nice swim there for him. And we got Cole in lane number 1. About half a pool length left to go. Touching at 133.47. Up next is the varsity 100 fly again. Your boys' record, Grant Tongass 51.50. Your pool record, Andrew Chapanier from Lakeville North at 49.73. It's event number 12. Tyler Young from Prior Lake in lane number 1. Sawyer Smith in 2 from Rosemount. Caden Chung in 3 from Pryor. Spencer Rudd from Rosemount in 4. And Griffin Leaning in 5 from Prior Lake. Lane 6 is empty. Got some good butterflyers in this heat. Prior Lake touching 1, 2 there, and 3 and 5. Caden and Griffin leading the way here. Sandwiched in between them is Spencer Rudd in lane number 4. Caden right now with a slight lead over Griffin out there in lane number 5. About a half a body length or so. Nice split of 25.18 for Caden. It looks like Caden is going to win this heat. Griffin's going to come in second. 53.68 for Caden. 54.28 for Griffin. That third position in lane number 4, 59.39 is Spencer Rudd. Okay, we got the JV 100-yard freestyle, event number 13. Job Glashagel from Prior Lake in 1. Ethan Connolly in 2 from Rosemount. From Prior Lake in lane number 3, Michael Bremer. Lane 4 from Rosemount, Cooper Pedersen. 5, Connor Kelsey from Prior Lake. And in lane number 6, Noah Baker from Rosemount. Lane 3, Michael Bremer tearing it up again. He's going to turn at 25.43. And Michael with a 54.06 to lead the way on that JV. Okay, up next is the varsity heat of the 100-yard freestyle. We've got Philip Kamiakov from Prior Lake in lane number 1. Lane number 2, Sullivan Labno, Rosemount. Lane 3, Victor Trin, Prior. Lane 4, Josh Sikorsky from Rosemount. Lane 5, Blake Vieger, Prior. And in lane 6, Noah Srensky from Rosemount. 100 freestyle, Devin Meeks from 2009 has the boys record at 45.44. And Olson from Hutchinson with a 47.30 holds your pool record. Lane number 3 at the turn is Victor Trin at 23.44. If he can hold it together, he could put together a pool record, but he's got to come back in 24 seconds, which is tough to do on the second half of a 50 mid-season. Sullivan hanging in there in lane number 2. giving him a little bit of a run, but Victor is going to win it at 49.78. Sullivan at 51.00. And in lane number 5, Blake Vieger in that third position at 52.77. All right, this is the boys 500-yard freestyle junior varsity, heat 1 of 1, all Prior Lake again. Alexander Zhang in 1, Rowan Wilson in 3, and Sam Erickson in 5. .500 is 20 lengths of the pool freestyle. Actually, the fun thing about this is you can swim anything you want because it's freestyle. You could swim a 500 fly, 500 backstroke, 500 breaststroke. There have been people crazy enough to do that. I've seen a 1650 fly in the last 4 to 5 years. 1650 is 66 lengths of the pool, not a high school event. If you're unfamiliar with the 500 freestyle, at the far end of the pool, you have a teammate counting for you, counting up to 17, and then the next card in will be red, and that tells the swimmer that that is their last turn. Watching on my iPhone here to make sure the feed stays up. Mine's a little blurry and choppy on my phone anyway. I'm hoping that it's okay for you all online. I haven't seen anybody say anything yet. Generally, people are very nice, though, and they don't say a whole lot. Like I said, my iPhone is on the school Wi-Fi here, so it could be that everybody in the building is connecting to it. So hopefully it's okay for you out there and wherever you're watching from. Okay, that was 200 yards there for lane number 3, which is Rowan Wilson. Halfway point for Rowan, just on that last turn. 10 lengths of the pool left to go. We still got about 22 people watching. I've got Eugene, Oregon. I've got Australia. Where else are we all tonight? We had some parents last week out in Puerto Rico. It's always interesting to see where people are watching from. I did used to do a lot of live streaming for a local club, and we'd see Mexico and Australia, and we'd see, I think I saw Southeast Asia, Thailand, or something like that. So really great to see people and where they are watching these events from. Rowan, that's 14 lengths down, 6 to go. All right, Rowan, still in your first position, has 4 lengths, 100 yards left to go of this event. This is the longest event for high school. Oh, never mind. I can't even see lane 1 from up here. Lane 1's in first position. He is on his last 50. So that's Alexander Zhang. I apologize. It's even hard for me to see him with everybody standing in the way. So he's making his final turn here. He just got the bell. And Rowan just has 2 lengths of the pool left to go as well. And then Sam out in lane number 5 at this turn will have 3 lengths left to go. So my apologies. Alexander is going to touch right there at soft touch. That is not the right time. That would be a super fast time. But that is incorrect. Comes Rowan. And Rowan at 7:10:09. They're having some problems with the clock over there in lane number 1. Probably the touchpad would be my guess. All right, Sam making his final turn. Turning on the jets here with everything he's got left. And Sam touching at 7:43.87. I guess stream looks good from Brent Vieger, watching from Savigat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I don't know where that is. I don't know where Savigat is. So, but thank you for being on and watching the boys today. Up next, we got the varsity 500-yard freestyle. Your boys' record for Rosemount is Evan Kinseth at 429.99. Pool record is also Evan Kinseth at 436.95. 436.95. Got a full heat here. Prior Lake in lane number 1, Matt Ondrachek. Rosemount, Nolan Hansen in 2. Owen Dwyer in 3 from Prior. Lane 4 is Will Durfee from Rosemount. Lane 5, Reese Haycraft, Prior Lake. And lane 6, Josh Soleil from Rosemount. Owen out with an early lead here at the 50. Looks a lot like the 200 did just a little bit ago. Keep a better eye on lane number 1 this time if I can. Haven't seen much outside smoke tonight. That's when lane 1 or lane 6 are leading the way. Owen Dwyer coming in at the 100. Makes his turn at 55.17 for that 100. Will and Reese battling it out in that second position. Reese with a little bit of a lead on Will Durfee right now. And that battle for 4th and 5th is down in lanes 1 and 2 between Matt from Prior Lake and Nolan from Rosemount. Owen and Reese for Pryor still leading the way here. Going to be turning at the 200, 8 lengths of the pool, 156.7. Still a pretty good battle in lanes 1 and 2. With Matt from Rosemount, a couple body lengths behind Reese Haycraft. Reese looking pretty strong here. I'm wondering if he's going to overtake the first position here fairly soon. That was the halfway point down here, 10 lengths. And again, Reese looking very strong here. Owen still strong. Nothing's changed here in the last few laps. And Reese starting to make a move out there in lane number 5. He takes over the top position. And they flip turn right about the same time. And Will Durfee's making a little bit of a move. He's moved up on both of them a bit. Reese is going to flip first now out there in lane number 5. Will's making his move on Owen there in lane number 3. 5 lengths of the pool left to go. There goes Will. He's starting to pass Owen now. Reese is starting to open up that lead a little bit more on both of them. Will looking very strong right now. He got 100 yards left to go. This could be very interesting if Will can get a final kick in. Owen has fallen back now to that 3rd position. We still have lanes 1 and 2, about a half a body length apart. Reese still holding strong to that body length and a half lead on Will, but Will is pulling away from Owen. There's the bell in lane number 5 for Reese. Let's see who's got a final kick here. Owen's got a bit of a final kick. Will it be enough, though, to catch Will? We'll wait and see. It's looking tougher and tougher. Reese is going to take this. Owen's still making a push, but there's just not enough room left. And Reese takes it at 5:02.64. Will at 5:04.93, and Owen at 5:06.67. Really, really nice time for Will at 5:04.93. That's a season best for him. Down from 5:08.5. So congratulations to all three. Nolan down there in lane number 2, 5:22.78, takes that fourth spot. And Matt from Prior Lake in lane 1 at 5:24.98 takes position number 5. Josh Alay finishing up. He has, at this turn, he'll have 25 yards left to go. My scoreboard camera has there we go. Get that back. For each swimmer. We've got Prior Lake in 1, 3, and 5, and Rosemount in 4. Looks like lane 2, maybe a soft touch. Nolan, 5:21.64 is what I'm hearing from the bench down there. So if you're watching for Nolan tonight, looks like 5:21.64 is his time in lane number 2. Our referees have disappeared again. I'm not sure what's going on this time. Looks like we're going to go past 8 o'clock Central Time. We've got about 10 minutes left. These meets are usually 2 hours on the dot if there's no issues. Oh, lovely watching my stream back here as I try to fix the camera and I see my forehead, nothing else on screen. That's nice to see. All right, looks like our refs have maybe figured it out. Andrew's still talking to the table. Going back to the starting position. Bill's going back to the other side of the pool. So it looks like we're set. Yeah, this is the JV of the 2 free relay. All right, here we go. Lane number 1, Tyler Simmons, Blake Wallen, Maddox Mork, and Zach Glaciegel. Lane 3 from Prior Lake, Harry Zhang, Cole Gramlau, Job Glaciegel, and Rowan Wilson. Lane 4 from Rosemount, Noah Baker, Dylan Everett, Ethan Connolly, and Cooper Pedersen. And in lane 5 from Prior Lake, Jack Wheelock, Young Shu Fan, Owen Kockelman, and Miguel Beltran Lopez. Second leg here, looks like Prior Lake in lane number 3. Cole Gramlau with a big lead. And my camera gave up again. Apologies, I will keep trying to fix it. Okay, coming up in lane number 3, your anchor leg. Rowan Wilson goes into the water right now. All right, varsity 200 free relay. Lane 6 will be empty. Lane number 1 from Prior Lake, Matt Ondrzejczyk, Philip Kamyakov, Matteo Rio Snyder, and Evan Scheibel. Lane 2 from Rosemount, Spencer Rudd, Quinlan Schroeder, Lucas Gerton, and Nolan Hansen. Lane 3 from Prior Lake, Victor Trin, Griffin Leaning, Jackson Stout, and Caden Chung. Lane 4 from Rosemount, Josh Sikorsky, Sawyer Smith, Sullivan Labno, and Will Durfee. And in lane 5 from Prior, Michael Bremer, Owen Baudette, Blake Vieger, and Reese Haycraft. Lane 3, got a pretty big lead right now. This is Griffin. Into the water next in lane number 3. Right now is Jackson Stout. Sullivan Labno there in lane number 4 in that second position. Doing his best to catch up a little bit here. Into the pool now in lane number 3 for Prior Lake goes Caden Chung and Will Durfee from Rosemount in 4. Prior Lake's going to take this one. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Prior Lake, Rosemount, Prior Lake in 5. Our free relay, boys record, 125.08, set back in 2010. And Rosemount boys also have the pool record at 128.07. 131.55 for Prior Lake. That does it for the 2 free relay. Up next is the 100-yard backstroke junior varsity. It's going to be all Prior Lake again. Looks like we're going to have lanes 3 and 5. Again, both for Prior Lake. Lane number 3, Connor Kelsey. And lane number 5, Max Heitzman. Max has a bit of a lead out there in lane number 5 right now. They're going to be pretty close at the 50. See if Connor can match him here. Looks like he's going to. See 3 and 5 at 37.01 and 37.21, so 0.2 of a second. Backstroke, it's hard to see your competition considering you're staring at the ceiling. And I'll tell you what, I swam here for 4 years. There is nothing interesting to look at on this ceiling. They both flip at the same time with 25 yards left to go. And right now, it looks like lane number 5 out there, Max has a bit of a lead. See what Connor can do here. It's going to be a close one. 1:15.5 and 1:16.07. Nice job, gentlemen. Okay, this is the varsity event 20, 100-yard backstroke. Devin Meeks from 2010 is your boys record holder at 49.83, and Jeff Dragston from Minnetonka way back, probably early 90s, late 80s at 51.72. Minnetonka. Tyler Leong in 1 from Prior Lake. In 2, Spencer Rudd from Rosemount. 3, Ethan Cosen from Prior. Lane 4, Matthew Warwig, Rosemount. 5, Braxton Helmers, Prior Lake. And in lane 6, Josh Delay, Rosemount. It's going to be a pretty good race between Matthew and Ethan. They are head to head right now. .25.55 and 25.60 respectively. Ethan's parents standing up close to me here, screaming for Ethan to go. Allison in Australia screaming at her TV right now for Matthew, but Ethan's got it here, I think, and he will take it at 52 flat. And Matthew right behind him at 52.37. So that is a season best for Matthew, down about almost a full second. So that's a good swim for Matthew. A great swim for Ethan. Nicely done. Josh Delay finishing up in lane number 6 at 112.21. Next is the junior varsity boys 100-yard breaststroke. There's your time. Sorry about that. On our breaststroke now, all Prior Lake, Cole Gramlow in 1, Evan Scheibel in 3, and Harry Zhang in 5. Pretty good race here between 3 and 5. They are head to head. That is Evan and Harry from both, obviously from Prior Lake. Evan's going to have a bit of a lead here at the turn. 37.63, 38.54 for Harry Zhang. And Cole touching right now at 44.06. All right, 118.06 for Evan Scheibel, 120.97 for Harry Zhang. And with about 5 yards left to go, Cole Gramlow in lane number 1. I'll try to shout these times out best I can as my camera continues to give me fits. Our breaststroke varsity up next. Your boys record, 2012, Jacob Stern with a 57.46. Pool record, Shapley from Minnetonka, 58.00. Jackson Stout in lane number 1 from Pryor. Jackson Price from Rosemount in 2. Owen Baudette in 3 from Pryor. Quinlan Schroeder from Rosemount in 4. Philip Kamyakov from Prior Lake in 5. And Dylan Everett from Rosemount in 6. Quinlan in lane number 4 from Rosemount. Big, strong breaststroker. He's been under a minute already this season. I believe last week he was 59. He's pretty excited about that. He is well out in the lead right now in lane number 4 and turns at 28.08. If he can hold it together, he's going to have another nice time. Looks like last week it was 59.15, so he's scraping the edge of that 58 mark. He's got a ways to go to get the pool record, but he's a junior, so anything is possible. And here he comes. Second position in lane 3 is Owen Baudette. And 1 minute, 0.42, so just a little bit over his time from last week. 1:05.09 for Owen. And in that third position, 1:08.05 from Jackson Stout, Prior Lake. All right, we've got one more event. 400 freestyle relay, JV and varsity. We will have Prior Lake in 3, Rosemount in 4, and Prior Lake in 5. Event number 23, 400-yard freestyle relay. Again, junior varsity. This is 100 yards for each swimmer, 4 lengths of the pool. A little bit of movement on the blocks there. Lost goggles in lane number 4. We've got Alexander Zhang, Max Heitzman, Leon Zabo, and Rowan Wilson in lane number 3. Ethan Connolly, Noah Baker, Cooper Pedersen, and Dylan Everett in 4 from Rosemount. And in lane 5 from Prior Lake, Sam Erickson, Young Shu Fan, Owen Kockelman, and Miguel Beltran Lopez. Our next home meet for you Rosemount fans will be next Friday, not this coming Friday, but a week from Friday at 6 p.m. So make sure you stay tuned. I will not be here to do this one, but my good friend Pete Dolan will be here to call the meet over the live stream. So make sure you join in. And then I will be back for the following Friday meet after that. And then Pete for the Tuesday meet after that. So we're going to be kind of tag teaming this one. Lane number 3 at 106.07. Alexander Zhang on that first 4 lengths. That Colorado is not being proper in lane number 3 for some reason. If you don't know what the Colorado is, that's the timing system. That's the system of the touchpads, the computer, and what you see in the small screen, the timing system. And then all that information in the Colorado gets sent over to Meet Mobile and Meet Manager, where it is recorded, authorized by the referees, and we find out who wins and who loses. And looks like they fixed lane 3. Now we've got a little bit of late of a shout out for Let's Go Matthew from Allison. I'm guessing that was back in the Hunter backstroke. And then we've got Valen Ferguson, Ethan Connolly's girlfriend, watching from Alberta, Canada. Go, Ethan. Very nice. Welcome. Glad you could watch tonight. So we got Canada. We've got Australia. We've got the U.S. We've got Savigat, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure, again, where that is. I might have to do a little Google search here while we wait for those hundreds to get done here. Oh, maybe it's Savage. Maybe he's in Savage, and I'm just being an idiot, which is more than likely what's going on. Thinking way too hard that Savigat might be somewhere in Asia or something. That'd be super cool. Okay, Rosemount lane number 4 on their final 100. Prior Lake, 2 lengths of the pool left to go, it looks like. Two lengths left for Dylan in lane number 4, and this will do it for Prior Lake. They are going to win the junior varsity event here. Soft touch. I don't think that's the right time. It's going to be a little bit off. It is Savage. All right. I shouldn't have been that dumb. I should have figured that out. But you know what? It's hot. I'm full of chlorine. And it's been a long day. So Savage it is. Thank you for joining us from beautiful downtown Savage, Minnesota. Miguel finishing up in lane number 5. About 6-7 yards left to go here to finish up the JV heat of the 400-yard freestyle relay. This is the boys 400-yard freestyle relay varsity. boys record 311.73 from around the 2000, from the turn of the century there. And then the pool record is Minnetonka at 312.80. Lane 6 is empty. Lane 1 and from Prior Lake, Michael Bremer, Tyler Leong, Mateo Rios Snyder, and Connor Kelsey. Lane 2 from Rosemount, Noah Srensky, Josh Soleil, Nolan Hansen, and Jackson Price. Lane 3 from Pryor, Owen Dwyer, Caden Chung, Griffin Leaning, and Ethan Kosen. Lane 4 from Rosemont, Sullivan Labno, Sawyer Smith, Will Durfee, and Matthew Warwig. And in lane 5 from Prior Lake, Braxton Helmers, Blake Beeger, Reese Haycraft, and Matt Ondrachek. In the lead right now, Prior Lake, lane number 3, Owen Dwyer over Sullivan Labno in 4. Okay, third leg of the pool, or third leg of the relay here. Prior Lake in lane number 3. That is Griffin Leaning. Lane 4, Will Durfee into the water. Prior Lake's got a huge lead right now with less than 200 yards left to go. Nolan Hansen into the water in lane number 2 on that third leg for Rosemont. Griffin finishing up. Into the water goes Ethan Kosen. Will Durfee's exchange with Matthew Warwig looks successful, and he is on his way. The 312 pool record will not be checked tonight. But Prior Lake does win the event in about 3:20. Matthew for Rosemont lane number 4 at 3:26.89. Lane number 3, that touchpad's having some issues, so that time probably is not right. Comes lane number 5. Finishing up there is Matt Ondrachek. 3:38.35. Come on, camera. Camera's got to hold on for just 10 more seconds. And then I can kick it down the stairs. Prior Lake in lane number 1 is going to finish up in the 4th position. And lane number 1's all goofed up as well. So they're 4th. Rosemont in 2 is 5th at 401.16. That does it for tonight's meet. I don't have the scores to the meet just yet. It will take a few minutes. So if you wish to hang on, please do. I'm pretty sure that Prior Lake took this one, both on the JV and the varsity side. But I'll put you on mute, and I will be back shortly to get you the team scores. Okay, unofficial. I got to make sure that the 400 free relay is done. I'm going to yell down to the board here and see if I can get the final score for you. All right, I'm going to take the points off of Meet Mobile here. I'm showing team scores. Junior varsity, Prior Lake 128, Rosemount 19. And varsity, Prior Lake 98, Rosemount 83. I want to thank you again for joining me this evening. Again, Pete Dolan will be with you next Friday night. And until I talk to you again in a couple of weeks, thank you. Have a great evening. We'll talk soon.